I wanted to walk through a couple of features of this tool that we have a free trial of. This is a product that we could access before, but this is the full version, which we can then integrate into Canvas. So first I'm going to go through some of the tools that you can use in Kami, and then I'll show you how to do that into Canvas as well in a second video. So what you're going to do is you're just going to go to kamiapp.com or Google Kami, and you can sign in with your Google, with your school credentials. Then you're going to use any PDF that you have that's already on your drive. If you need help putting anything on your drive that you maybe is in paper or isn't in a PDF version, let me know and we can go through that. But first, I'm going to come in here and I'm going to find this file that I wanted to use. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Let's see what this is. Okay, this is great. So once I've opened this file, you'll see that this text box opens up. It says recognize text. And so I want this to run OCR because it's going to then recognize all of my text, which will allow us to do text to speech. And that's going to be great for our ELLs and really anybody that's just wanting to have this read to them, especially with us not being there. So now that I've done that, I can have this, this page be read to me. Okay, you can also, if the student just wants the instructions read to them, they can highlight that and have that done. The other thing that this can do is there's a dictionary. So if I wanted to look up what sodium nitrate is, I think it'll maybe tell me. Where did it go? It will give me a definition of sodium or any other term that we pull up. So those are some of the great extra tools that will work really well for our students. But then as a teacher, what you can do with this before you give it to our students is you've got several options. We over here have a markup. So, sorry, I keep clicking in the wrong place. So you have options to highlight. There's also a box highlighter, strike through, and underline. So maybe if you're wanting them to only do evens, you could just highlight just those even ones. If you don't want them to do number 7, you could strike through that. If you want to underline specific words in the instructions or something else you really want to call out, you could do that as well. You've got several colors to choose from. We also have this comment tool. There's multiple ways you can do that. You can provide a text comment. So if you're just wanting to tell them in the instructions, maybe here we can, oops, sorry. Okay. You can highlight that, sorry. You can put in a text comment box and highlight that. And then it's going to pull this text comment box over here, and I can give them more information for them to read off to the side. And then they'll be able to see that there is a text comment there as well. Or maybe I want to read these directions to them and expand it a little bit more. So I put that there, and I could record myself telling them, I want you to write these formulas with all of the numbers and letters that you need. However you might want to say that, especially a chemistry teacher would say that much better than me. And the same goes for, you can include a video comment, so that way they can actually see our face as well. So these are great tools for us to use to either expand on those directions, read those directions to the students, or reteach a skill that they might need in order to be able to do the assignment without them having to go back to our instruction on Canvas. So you also have a text box. So maybe you've decided you want to give them one of these answers to show them how to do it first. You could include a text box there. You could also have, maybe you wanted to include a number 51. You could, that was on the sheet. You could put that down here in a text box. Then we have these, the equation options. This may be more useful for the students actually than the teachers, unless you're adding in things, but I know Ms. Cole was excited about this, having all these options for the different equations that are available, equation symbols that are available for the students to be able to use. We also have the ability to draw, so maybe you want to actually instead of having a typed in something. Maybe you want to show them how they can write on here. So, so there's how that would work if I was doing the right place. If I knew any how all these worked, I would write one in for you. So you could certainly use that to write as well. Then there's also options of putting in shapes. So if you wanted to circle the ones you wanted them to do, you could do that, or however else you could think of to use that. There's an eraser tool that you can use to take away anything that you've got. You can take off the drawings and the shapes. You can take off all the annotations. You can also insert images, so something that you have on your computer or in your drive, but you can also look for things on Google. So if you're wanting to find a picture to maybe make this more interesting, you could put that in there, or maybe you're going to ask them to go find an example of what these are and how these end up in real life. Maybe that's the number 51. Go find a physical representation of one of these. So that's kind of the way that this will work for you as the teacher. So once you have that done, we would save it, and we'll save it to our drive. And then that way we're able to then go back and look at that in a minute from the Canvas perspective and loading that in. And from there, the students will be able to do the annotations on what you've sent to them now that you've marked it up the way that you want to. And hopefully that makes sense. So let me know as you've gone through this if you have questions or comments, what you think about this tool, if you think it's something that can be used, and we hope it's something that is helpful.